isn't it? It's
Oh my
21,
God.
21 years of friendship.
Yeah.
21
Definitely.
years of 21 years of us doing
Optima.
the company
Yeah.
together. It's mad, isn't it? That it's gone that quick.
It's crazy. Can't
It has,
believe
because we still are the same people.
We are.
Actually,
Older and wiser,
yeah,
but we're the
and we've
same.
grown a lot together, but we still laugh the same way as we always
Exactly,
did.
that's it. Yeah, you have to.
I think we might
So
laugh a little bit more these days.
Well, we do, but yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think the big thing is just realising that, you know, we are one of the longest serving companies in the country.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think we should celebrate it just by talking about our experience and
Well, we're blessed
seeing how it is.
We are.
Yeah,
that we've
blessed.
had 21 years as well.
I know, we've seen a lot of companies go, a lot of companies, you know, come and go. There's a hell of a lot of companies lately have turned up in the industry.
Yeah. And
Which
they'll
is,
soon
you know,
go.
which is good. The work, you know, is questionable, can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I think the way that they're actually, you know, thinking reasons behind doing a hair loss company is not why we do it.
No.
No.
Purely for money reasons,
Yeah.
not for the
Yeah.
heart,
Yeah,
not for
because
the love.
when they do a lot of the promoting and they sell training for, like, you know, some people are selling anything between 1,000 and 4,000 a day
Yeah.
just for one day's training.
Oh, no,
I mean,
it's
it took you
outrageous.
37 years to get
Yeah.
where you are. So for one day's training for, like, well, no, for $3,000 is purely to make money.
I know.
That's it. That's what it is. You know, it's a case of make more money, boost your income.
That's the only reason why most
boost your
people
income
do
on
it.
someone who's gone bald.
Yeah.
What are you
Shocking,
saying? Like that's
shocking.
I think that's just taking the piss.
It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
But the reason why it started anyway was because initially you lost your hair.
I know.
And so you've experienced what they've experienced. So the passion was there, whereas a lot of the people that are in these industries are full heads of hair.
Yeah.
They have no idea.
Well, they're just jumping on it for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the only reason I got into probably, you know, like really starting Optima was purely because of my experience of spending 18 grand in 3 years on stuff that never worked. Hair transplants and trichologists and clinics in London and everything that I got ripped off for, and then ended up like sort of, you know, working in the industry and how ruthless they were at making sure that you just hammer these clients into the ground. It was money, money, money. So yeah, I think when we did it, it was more heart-based than it was head-based and money-based.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was.
That's what we're about.
Well, that's what I think. That's why we've done 21 years and been successful.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because the passion will always be there. And I think we've all worn the T-shirt that they've come in, and we feel the same as they feel.
Yeah, we do,
so
yeah.
it's a bit like stars in your eyes, isn't it? They go up one way and come down another with a
I know.
smile.
One of the questions is how did you all meet?
How did we meet, Pete?
Me and Kaz met in London. So we met in London at a posh hotel. I'd started work for I was a forklift truck driver for years, and then I got offered a job at this company in London, and then we met at a convention, didn't we, in London?
We did, yeah.
The first time I saw Kaz was in a lift.
Nice.
Yeah, and it said on the lift about maximum amount of people. So, so I thought because she was on her own, she maxed like at 9 people. So I literally just thought, no, I better not. I still remember it now, saying hello to Kaz.
Yeah, so she obviously made an impact. You looked a wow.
No, he wanted me, didn't he?
Yeah, get out of it. Yeah, that's it.
He wanted me
Yeah.
from the off.
I know,
my
that was
God.
ridiculous. So yeah, we obviously met that, and then that's when me and Kaz actually got together.
No, but we got on really well, didn't we?
That was
Yeah.
it.
We
And
had a
then
real
I think
good
a
laugh.
few weeks later, I came in for an appointment with you because
Yes.
I was a customer. And she went, I've met this gobshite from London. And I said, well...
Gobshite, that's nice, isn't it?
And,
Yeah.
But I said, well, I need to see him. And then, obviously...
And I
that's
met
how
you, didn't I?
And then
that's
you
how
started working with us.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but obviously then me and you worked together.
Yes.
So we worked together for a good sort of like 2 or 3 years.
Well, you were working in London, and then I got you working up in
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Yeah,
with-
exactly. So that was an experience, and then we lived together. Then we're down in
God
that
knows
flat.
why.
For
Yeah.
all of how long? 18 months?
So,
I think so, yeah, probably about that actually. About 18 months, obviously backwards and forwards. I was living up north for then as well, so it was a weird time, wasn't it?
It
And I think
really
from
was,
mine
yeah.
and your experience, what we did, realised that there was no heart in it, and it was just all money motivated.
Oh, yeah. And the clients didn't like where we were working at the time either.
No,
and they
No,
wanted us
weren't
to
fans.
do it.
But the actual industry itself, there wasn't a lot of places. There was only one or two.
No.
You've worked in the industry for how long?
Oh God, 37 years. But when I first started, it was that cloak and dagger and like little dodgy doorway places. It was
hard.
really
People
weird.
didn't want to. It was like they felt like they had to
They were
hide
scared.
coming in, which was really sad. Really
Nothing
sad.
like what it is now. But when we met, the internet was only just really kicking in, and
Are we that old?
Yeah,
but it
and
was, wasn't it?
dinosaurs were
If you
walking.
remember, it was. No, that is true, isn't it? Though?
Yeah, I know.
Because there was not many places doing this, because not many people were aware of it, because there was no internet.
No.
The minute the internet started advertising and people started realising there were other companies, that's when the company we were working for got a little
I
bit
remember
nervous.
my old boss actually saying that the internet will ruin this industry.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
and
make
it
the
did.
industry. Yeah, it did.
Because it
for
meant,
them,
meant
yeah.
that everybody was
Yeah.
going to do it.
I mean, it was that long ago. It was that guy that made that round thing that he put on cars, a wheel.
Yeah.
So it was that long ago, but I think that was really the whole experience of getting into the industry and finding out what's really going on with it. It was a rip-off, wasn't it?
It really was, yeah. Oh God,
I think
awful.
when I joined, like, you imagine when I lost my hair at 23, and then suddenly I got, all the transplants, and then I ended up going to this company. I think in the first 18 months, I spent £4,500 of money I never had.
Yeah.
And I was proper breasted.
But it was just so important to you,
I know.
and that's how most people are. People will go out wearing a bin bag as long as they feel good in themselves.
I remember getting it done. It was June of '96, and I remember going back into work, and that's the reason why I went on to night shift, to get out of the way, because I remember going back into work, and this guy literally went, "Oh, mate, what the fuck's that on your head?" Like, literally, it looked like a rabbit. It was terrible. The technology back then was shocking.
Yeah, it was terrible
compared to what it is now.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Well, when I first started, they were like a doorstop.
Really?
They were that thick, like down here and that thick. So you put your hand on, you just hit a big brick on the head.
Isn't it like the old days, like when they used to call them hair units, or like, wouldn't they last about 3 or 4 years?
Oh God, yeah.
Well, they couldn't even fall apart because they'd be like,
you couldn't even get a hammer on them.
It was like your carpet you had in names.
Oh God,
like
yeah.
anything was better
Terrible.
than nothing, and I understand that because it was just that confidence thing of being able to go out and feel okay in yourself. So, but yeah, they were shocking.
I must admit, when I got mine done, it gave me a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
Massive amount of confidence.
And then when you met me and I did it, it gave you even more confidence.
To be fair, you were pretty good, Cass.
Yeah, were.
You were, getting on a bit now though. So my journey, obviously, from what I had when I was 23, I wasn't meant to go bald. That's what I look at. No. But look how much my life's changed.
God, look how much our lives have
You
changed.
changed your career to go bald, because otherwise you'd be still stacking up the boxes.
I know, exactly. I'll still be working in the warehouse.
Yeah, doing that.
Raving, But 23, when you lose your hair, that's... I remember I used to pray for cancer every day. I used to get on the bus to work, wear my cap, and that's the reason why I went on night shifts. I could keep out of the way of everybody. It was just the worst time ever.
Awful.
I remember I had an XR2.
Yes, I remember.
I had an XR2.
I do.
Yeah, exactly. So that XR2, I sat in Valentine's Park in Ilford in Essex with a hose pipe in and my suicide note written out.
Oh my Lord.
I was ready, absolutely ready to do it. And all I kept thinking was, if I fuck this up, what happens then? I'm not sure. I just don't know.
It's a good job you didn't.
I know. Something stopped me.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, like you say, I couldn't walk down the road without staring at everyone's hair, and it absolutely obliterated my life. Why me? Why me? Why me? I just couldn't handle it. But who would know that the worst thing that happened to me turns out to be the best thing?
Yeah, really did.
Well, apart from the fact I had to meet you too.
Yeah, you lucky man.
I was waiting for that.